Probably.
Let me know when we're live.
Yeah.
I think it's because it's
Hi, it's Nikki from the controller's office.
you know.
Morning, Nikki. Okay.
Who do we have on the line?
Nikki from the controller's office.
Jason Yorks. Okay, good. Morning, everyone. I ask you to please rise for the opening prayer and pledge of allegiance. Dear gracious and loving God, as we gather together this morning, we lift up our colleague, Commissioner Mercer, in prayer. We pray for your healing as he undergoes knee surgery this day. We pray that you'll restore him with a speedy recovery. We pray for our constituents this morning. Many are facing challenges of great magnitude. We ask you to provide them grace, mercy, and guidance. Lord, we ask you to guide our country over the next week as we vote for our leaders locally and nationally. May we respect each other's opinions without retaliation and hatred. We thank you that we live in a country where we have these freedoms to choose our leaders. We pray that these leaders will always seek guidance from you, Father. We pray that they will have ears that listen and address those that are in need. We pray that our leaders will work together and not separate of each other. Lastly, may we do as you instruct us in your word, to pray for our leaders daily. These things we humbly present to you this morning. We thank you that we believe and serve a God that hears our every thought. We ask you for your continued guidance. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning. We'll convene the Commissioners' public meeting at this time and ask for approval in the minutes of the previous meeting.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second. All fair side?
Aye.
Aye. And then we have public comments on the agenda items only at this time. Hearing nothing, no one has to be online?
No.
Okay, we'll move on.
Today we have a proclamation for National Lead Poisoning Prevention Week. Commissioner Mirabita has that.
Okay, so, County of Lycoming, Pennsylvania, proclamation declaring National Lead Poisoning Prevention Week, October 25th to the 31st, 2021. Whereas lead exposure to children can result from multiple sources and can cause irreversible and lifelong health effects. Whereas nearly 9,000 children have suffered from lead poisoning each year in Pennsylvania, based on 2019 data. Pennsylvania also has the second highest number of children in the nation that have tested positive for lead poisoning. And whereas lead is especially dangerous to children under the age of 6, and whereas lead poisoning is preventable, the key is to keep children from coming into contact with lead. And whereas there are very simple steps that can be taken to protect all family members from lead-based paint hazards in the home. Whereas education and awareness about the dangers of lead can help protect the lives of children living in Lycoming County, Pennsylvania. Now, therefore, be it resolved, Lycoming County Commissioners proclaim October 20th to the 26th, 2021 as National Lead Poisoning Prevention Week. And be it further resolved that the Lycoming County Commissioners encourage all citizens to observe this week with appropriate programs and activities designed to enhance public awareness of lead poisoning prevention and the ways we can protect our families from lead poisoning. Signed by Lycoming County Commissioner Scott L. Metzger, Chairman, Tony Armacere, Vice Chairman, Richard Marabito, Secretary. So, you know, especially in our older communities, and this is probably why Pennsylvania has one of the highest rates in the country. But in our older communities, so many of our buildings were built before 1978. 1978 is the year they took lead out of paint by federal statute. In other countries, in Europe, lead was removed from paint in the 1860s, I think, or 70s in Germany and in other countries. And it's a sad situation because we now are reaping the effects of having done it late. But to both people there, whether you're a homeowner or a landlord, it's really not hard to make a place safe for kids. You don't have to necessarily de-lead a facility. You know, that's one sort of extreme. You can paint over it and basically seal in the paint, the lead. So, I mean, don't take my advice as the ultimate direction. Do a little research, but I guess I would suggest, and to parents there, you have to make sure that your kids aren't chewing on paint. I'll tell you a little story. A friend of mine, he's a contractor. His kids are probably 12, 13 now, but when they were young, his little son was crawling around on the carpet. And this contractor was very aware of problems with lead paint and always made a point of, if he worked on his house, of being careful. Well, he noticed something in the little boy's mouth. And what, of course, it was a chip of paint. Lead paint is sweet, and so kids suck on it. And what had happened is when he was coming home, he was not removing his shoes outside the house. And because he had been working on other people's houses and he had soles in his shoes that had indentations, as most contractors do, he was bringing in little chips of lead paint. Because he caught it early enough, he was able to get his son the medicine that you need to basically get the lead out of the system. But I know we know from one of the women who came to the Diversibility Committee, Tamika Stokes, and she couldn't be here today, but she has brought this to our attention often, and she contacted me and said, Commissioner, you know, would you do this and try to bring this to the attention of the public? So although she's not here today, her own child had you know, suffered from issues with lead poisoning. And so I just would encourage all folks out there, if you can, to do what you can to spread the awareness.
Yeah, thank you. And you mentioned the Diversibility Committee with the county that we have established as of last year, and we have many agencies that take part of that. It's the third Wednesday at lunchtime. We meet here right here in this room, and we speak about several issues in the community regarding employment, transportation, health issues, housing issues, and we encourage everybody in the community who wants to attend. They can feel free to do so. If a county employee would like to come, it's over their lunch hour. They're welcome to attend. It's open for everyone. We like to see more involvement. We have great involvement now, but we like to see it grow.
And we have some great plans for next year to try to have some events that will bring awareness. Some of the things some of us are not aware of, because if you don't have a family member with a diverse ability and you own a car, transportation is pretty easy, right? But you can imagine if you have a diverse ability and you're an adult and you don't have a car or license, it's even hard to get to work on weekends or second shift when the bus stops running after certain times. So those are just some of the transportation issues and other issues too. So that's important.
Thank you.
Okay, so 1.7 of this week's informational series, County Departments and What They Do for You. Maya Toon is going to speak for purchasing.
Morning, Maya.
Good morning, Commissioners. So, for those that don't know, my name's Maya Toon. I'm the Chief Procurement Officer for the county. I work in the Purchasing Office, which is a function of the Commissioner's Office. Our staff is comprised of myself, administrative assistant, as well as a part-time clerk. And we are also currently seeking another individual in our office, which would be a procurement and grant officer. We do multiple things in the department, but our main focus is working obviously with purchasing for the procurement side, and also grant management as well as lease management. From the procurement side, we are responsible for the acquisition, management, and purchase of goods and services to ensure the efficient operation of county government, while also ensuring compliance with rules and regulations, as internal, external, and policy and procedures, as well as legal requirements. Specific areas of responsibility include contracting, which is writing, reviewing, and monitoring contracts, reviewing and processing change orders and amendments, competitive and non-competitive bidding, including prevailing wage requirements, reviewing and processing purchase orders, maintaining surplus property, processing travel requests, fleet management, including vehicle transfers, purchase and selling of vehicles, as well as lease and rental program. And we also do procurement card management. Of course, we negotiate contracts and purchases to maintain the best price. We provide technical assistance. A big part of the job is interfacing with vendors to bring in new vendors. We do cost analysis and reporting. We're involved in several special projects, and we improve policy and procedures to improve and standardize processes. So that's what we do, at least a very brief overview from the purchasing side. There's a lot more, but that's the main function. From the grant side, our office is responsible for the management of all grants for the county through its life cycle. So that includes project implementation and development through the award, reporting, and the closeout of the grant. Specific responsibilities there include preparing and writing and submitting grants. We also do research, specific grants to offset the budget as needed. We process grant and financial reports. We manage the receipt of all grant revenue, and we maintain grant records. Part of the job is also working closely with auditors through a grant audit. We track all grant-related activities, and we monitor grant expenditures and grant-funded activities to ensure the compliance side, both internally and externally, with the awarding agency. From the lease management side, our office is responsible for the lease management of specific county-owned properties. Those responsibilities include negotiating, preparing, and executing all lease documents, collecting and depositing all rent payments, tracking and reconciling all rental payments, responding to tenant complaints and issues, enforcing lease terms and conditions, ensuring tenants are properly and promptly informed with respect to rules, regulations, and notices. We maintain up-to-date rent roll and lease specifications. We show rental property vacancies as they occur, and we find and screen and recommend new tenants. We keep up with current market rates, assist and manage renovations with the Director of Maintenance, and we review space requirements and layouts and coordinate those moves with the Maintenance Department. So that's just a very snapshot of what we do. Obviously, there's more, but these are the main functions.
So I want to point out something, that the county tax dollars make up about a third of what the county budget is. And the other 2/3 are located through the efforts of our county employees. By them going out and finding grants and contracts, and processing them through your very small office, you have a very small staff.
Yes, we do.
How many contracts do you have right now? How many grants do you have right now?
Grants, we have over 100. It's estimated at about 30 million. And those, and there's a unique dynamic to it. There's certain ones that are strictly just focused in our office that we do from beginning to end, like planning. There's a mixture where they handle certain ones, but I will assist with, and then there's ones that I just do solely for them as well. And that's just due to staffing issues and the amount of projects that we have coming in. Obviously, you can't have your hands on all of it, but you almost need to in order for compliance. So I will tell you, part of the job is that communication piece and having that rapport with other departments and employees and really working well together, because once you lose that dynamic, then it becomes harder to do the job, not just on my end, but their end as well. So it really is a team effort, but it is a very busy effort and time-consuming effort. Our days are filled, like you come in and you don't sometimes know where the time goes, which for me is good. I like that. I like to keep busy, and I think I have staff up there that are in that same mindset. So that's what makes us work, have a really good team upstairs. But yeah, as COVID hit, that kind of took us to a whole different level, a lot more added stress where everyone was feeling it, not, professionally, but also personally. So it's been a challenge, but one that I think we're succeeding in by working, collectively together.
Okay, thank you. So we have a third of the tax dollars comes in to take care of, the other 2/3 is located through the grants, the contracts, state reimbursements, federal reimbursements, and this is what the employees are doing for the constituents of our county to provide the best possible services that we can provide. And I want you to think about this, that the tax dollar, the county provides the most services for your tax dollar out of your tax bill. It's the least amount of your tax bill. Okay, you spend approximately 21 cents of your tax bill for county services, and you get the best bang for your buck. Depending on where you live, your municipality, your city, your borough, that's roughly 23 to 26 cents. Your school district taxes are about 50 to 55%. So your school district tax is the majority of your tax bill. Where you live is the next amount. Your county tax bill is the least amount, yet you get the most services for it. And we get those majority of the services for it by the efforts of our employees going out, looking for that funding, whether it's through grants, contracts that are processed through your office, reimbursements for state funding like 911 gets most of their reimbursements through 911. The landfill stands on their own 2 feet by the fees they charge, things like that. So I want the public I want to emphasize to the public, through the efforts of our county employees, we're able to provide the services and keep a line on the bottom dollar. They're constantly looking for ways to save money. We had one presented to us yesterday, another way to save money by a department head. And so we want to thank everybody for their service. We want to thank you and your staff for your services. And we'll continue to do what we can do with the monies that we are provided. And hopefully we continue to get those grants, those contracts, that can be provided to get those services. The state's cutting back, the feds are cutting back. We don't know what that's going to mean to the county, because it all trickles down to the county level. But we'll make those decisions when we're faced with them. But
and I just want to note too, with this additional staff, right now, like I kind of alluded to that when I discussed it earlier, that there's such a need for that additional person, because right now we're just maintaining. But if we have this other person, I mean, we can really take it to a whole different level and really focus on a grant position, which in my opinion, as being certified in that position, to really look to offset the budget as much as we can. And I think it's going to be even more important as we move forward and funding, goes away in certain areas. And we're all going to kind of struggle for the same dollar.
Yeah.
So.
A good example there is the EIP, or the STAMP program. It used to be called the Early Intervention, we know from the state, and we got engaged with that, and people, counties have been using that for a long time. Some of the counties around Philadelphia have been using that as a way to get state money. So we have been doing it, but that's an example where we had another person. So one of the things that it's important for the taxpayers to understand is that it's really complicated to make sure that you adhere to all the regulations that go with getting state and federal money or grants from private entities. And we have seen recently, sadly, in our own community where certain things were not followed with the transit system, and it becomes not only expensive because you have to have audits done, et cetera, but it also weakens one's confidence in government. And so I think what you do is really important, and we appreciate that. The other part of it is not only are you protecting the taxpayers, you're protecting vendors by making sure that everybody has a shot at the apple. And one of the things we often hear from constituents with small businesses, I'd love to bid on this or that. And so we put out from time to time, we try to put out to bid even the professional services, so that everyone has a shot at the law, legal services, or the engineering services. And then, of course, whenever we buy things for the prison, we're always bidding it out and so forth, for the goods and services. But that's very important. I want the constituents to understand that we take that seriously as an opportunity to give everyone a shot at the apple.
Yeah.
Because this county government injects a lot of money into the local economy.
Mhm.
You know, it trickles down when you hire, when you have people doing all these things, it circulates. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I just want to, I think a lot of times people think it's just as easy as, oh, you want to go buy a widget, go buy a widget.
Yeah.
In the procurement world, that's not always the case. There's so many rules and regulations within procurement code that we are allowed and not allowed to do. And, we're not, I would say the procurement code is not necessarily up with times. Things have drastically changed over the past even 5 years that have not kept up with that demand on the purchasing side. So there becomes a lot of really tough thinking in order to get things done and keep operations moving. And that has been, I would say, and I'm sure the solicitor can attest to that, been the challenging part probably within the past 2 to 3 years, is that trying to get, not say get around those things, but think of ways to accommodate the code but still get the job done and keep operations moving. And that's really a challenge. I mean, I would say grants is a very big part of the job, but I will say purchasing by far is the most difficult part of the job. With grants, it's kind of nice. The upfront part is the most difficult, but then once you get it, you write it out, you follow it and monitor it, and then you do a closeout report. And then you wait for auditors to do an audit. But with purchasing, it's always something new. There's always an immediate demand. I just look at Brad. I mean, we just have, so many things that come from his side of his department that has dire needs. I mean, there's some departments that I talk to at least probably 2 to 3 times a day that have urgencies. And so it's a lot of, flipping the switch and trying to think outside the box a lot.
Well, thank you
Mhm.
for what you
Okay,
do.
thank you.
Bid openings, Krista Rogers is here. This is bids for truck scale system rebuild project.
Morning, Krista.
Good morning. Morning. We had 2 bidders. Fairbanks Scales Incorporated came in with a price of $135,013. And Advanced Scale Company Incorporated came in at a price of $88,211.25.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Accounts payable cash requirements report with Brandy Clemens.
Morning, Brian.
Good morning again. This week we have 2 weeks worth of AP to approve since we aren't having a meeting next week, so we'll start with this week's check run. I'm here to approve the accounts payable cash requirements report for invoices due through November 3rd, 2021 to be paid on October 27th, 2021 in the amount of $699,031.25, of which it looks like approximately 36% is county taxpayer dollars.
Okay.
So you said $699,031.25.
Yep, we had to add a $9,546 invoice that I emailed your office. It was pass-through money for the homeless assistance program, I think, that the United Way is returning to us today, and we have to return it then back to the state. It's just a pass-through.
And we'll note that almost 41% is the RMS, which comes out of their revenue, which is good news. So the actual county general is only about 250,000.
Any questions?
No, I don't know.
I'll make a motion.
Yeah, I'll move to approve the cash requirement.
I'll second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So carried.
Okay, we also need to approve accounts payable cash requirements report for invoices due through November 10th, 2021, to be paid on November 3rd, 2021, upon review by your office next week.
I'll move to approve those payments.
I'll second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So carried.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
4.0 TDA actions with Roxanne Rico.
Good morning, Commissioners.
morning, Roxanne.
In Budget and Finance, the reclassification of an administrative specialist pay grade 5-6 to a junior accountant pay grade 7, effective October 31st, 2021.
Okay, I'm gonna make a motion to table that this morning.
I'll second that.
All fair side?
Aye.
Aye. It's just Commissioners' meeting at this time for the salary board.
Commissioners, again, in Budget and Finance, the reclassification of an administrative specialist pay grade 5-6 to a junior accountant pay grade 7, effective October 31st, 2021.
Again, I'll make a motion to table this salary board action for further discussion.
Okay, I'll second
All fair side?
it. Aye.
Aye, so carried. Thank you. We'll reconvene the Commissioners' public meeting at this time. We'll adjourn the salary board actions first and then reconvene the Commissioners' public meeting at this time.
In proceeding number 1 would have been part of the table.
Right. So I'll make a motion to table action item 6.1.
I'll second
All fair side?
it. Aye.
Aye, so verified table.
Okay. 6.2 in Budget and Finance, Lori L. Weston, full-time replacement, lead fiscal technician, pay grade 7, $25.07 an hour, effective October 31st, 2021.
Okay, I'm gonna make a motion to table this for further discussion.
I'll second it.
All fair side?
Aye.
Aye, so hereby tabled.
Are we going to do these individually, or are we going
From
to the
this point on,
rest?
we can go on.
Okay. In the Public Defender's Office, Gina A. Longo is a full-time replacement first assistant public defender, pay grade 14, $95,694.81 annually, effective November 29th, 2021. In Soil Conservation, Emily E. Bruce, full-time replacement soil conservation technician, pay grade 7, $35,642.46 annually, effective November 1st, 2021. At the prison, Tammy M. Toner, full-time replacement administrative specialist, pay grade 6, $21.52 an hour, effective October 31st, 2021. In Veterans Affairs, Keely J. Hitchens, full-time replacement clerk 3, pay grade 4, $16.51 hourly, effective October 31st, 2021. In the District Attorney's Office, Gwendoline S. Breon, full-time reclassification, fully qualified status as a paralegal, pay grade 7, $18.26 an hour, effective October 31st, 2021. And finally, in pre-release, Kyle D. Cathas as a full-time replacement resident supervisor, pay grade 5, $15.37 an hour, effective November 1st, 2021.
Yeah, I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Further discussion, we had the word here this morning. Ward, would you like to say anything in regards to the prison full-time replacement administrative specialist? I know that through that rework, you were able to save some money. If you come up and share some of your thoughts.
Yes, thank you, Commissioners. The position that was approved today will consolidate the administrative specialist duties for the pre-release center and the prison into one position. And we've asked for a reclassification of the position out at the pre-release center from an administrative specialist position to a clerk 3. And so with doing that, it will save some money in the salaries of both of those positions.
Great, thank you.
Yep.
Aye.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so carried.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Maya Toon has 2 informational items.
Good morning again.
What do you mind?
What's that time again? We're going back out for food products, and we're also doing bread products.
Okay.
No change in prices there, huh?
No, not at all. This is part of the creative thinking.
Food prices are going up drastically.
Yeah, and, now it's not even that, it's just finding product, now we're
True.
talking about shortages too.
Yep.
So on to action items, 8.0. Well, Maya, you have 8.1 through 8.7.
All right.
I'll just let you.
I'll do my
work through
thing,
those.
yeah. The first item is to vote on the agreement with Farm Chen Incorporated for 2022. This is a 2021 budgeted item. The services are for, to provide sweat patches and screening for drug abuse detection for the pre-release in prison.
Okay, any questions or comments on this budget item?
This is an ongoing contract that we've done.
Yeah, so
before,
this
right?
is for
Yeah.
the upcoming one that will run into 2022 term. But yes, this is a renewal that we do every year.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so carried.
The next item I have is to vote on grant and monitoring agreement with Franklin Township. It's for the Lairdsville Sewer Project. It's in the amount of $500,000. And did you want me to go into detail a little bit about that
Yes,
project?
yes.
Okay. So the county had assisted with their efforts in getting constructing a new sewer sanitary project that they had. It was done with CDBG program. And when they went out to bid, unfortunately, there was a shortfall of $1.1 million. And that was a result of COVID, as well as all the additional costs associated because of COVID and the economic impact. So as a result of that shortfall, they came to the commissioners and requested assistance so that it wouldn't put a further burden on the taxpayers in Lairdsville, and as well as the township. So to assist them in those efforts, the county has agreed to give them a grant, $500,000, which I still think we're determining on the source of funding, correct? I'm not sure if we're thinking Act 13 or if we're doing ARPA.
Right.
But it may be a combination of those. And then also, as you'll see, the next item is then also assisting them with a loan agreement up to $700,000, again, to assist in those efforts that they would pay back over 15 years at 0% interest.
Yeah. We met with the Franklin Township supervisors. They've been working diligently on this basically mandate they've been faced with by the state with having a sewer system down there. They have done everything possibly to plan the right way. However, due to COVID and the price of steel and other items, it was put out for bid. They were 1.2 million under what they originally had projected for it. And they asked for us to try to assist them. We came up with this idea of a grant loan process. So that's what we're moving forward today. We talked about putting that out for rebid. Shannon, you might want to come up and elaborate on that. Shannon's been working with them also.
Yeah, unfortunately, because of the mandates that they're under from both, they've been able to get some funding from PennVest, funding from CDBG, and because of the timeframes for those grants and loans, they were unable to put it out for bid again. And the concern is that the cost would come in even higher right now with what we've been seeing with other projects. So they really need to move forward before that happens.
Or they'll lose out on those
Right.
funds.
Yeah, if they don't have things, I believe they have a deadline of November 15th to finalize all of their PennVest documents. And I know they have a request in for CDBG to extend, give them a short extension for that funding also.
So this is really, because some of the constituents may look at this and say, wow, that's a lot of money. So it's a very difficult situation in rural Pennsylvania, right? Our county has a median household income of about, actually, I think it went up now, it's about 54,000 or so. Excuse me, that's two people working. The median household income in the community that this is going to assist is $29,000, which means that either two people working or one person, they're trying to survive on $29,000 a year. They had on-lot sewer systems, and what's happening is that the sewerage they're failing and it's leaching through the ground, the sewage. And so when we say it's a mandate, it's really DEP exercising its function of protecting the public that we can't have raw sewage coming up out of the ground or getting into water systems and so forth. So I think the commissioners are doing the right thing here in basically helping a very, very community that's struggling economically, part of our county, and doing it in a way, and it's not like they're not gonna pay, they are gonna pay.
Their monthly fees are gonna be around $105 a month.
Right, they're gonna pay a monthly fee of $105, whereas they never had a monthly fee before, so you're looking at another $1,200 being added to the budget. And by doing it this way, we both grant some, and then on the loan side of it, they can try to cut the cost as much as they can. The reason it's so time sensitive is because they have contracts, they have bids from contractors that will be held for 60 or 90 days, and that time's running out. And they also have a Penvest loan that they have to be able to, Penvest has to know that they're gonna be able to complete the project in order to give them that loan. So I think it's a good thing that we're doing, and I think it's exactly the kind of role of county government to help parts of our community that are really struggling. Just as I would expect the state to help parts of this state where counties are struggling. And I would expect that the federal government would help states and local areas where they're struggling. So anyway, Commissioner, I'll move to approve the grant agreement and the loan, if you want to take them in one. Or
Yes, and they had said that we had offered they could borrow up to $700,000. They highly doubt they're gonna borrow that amount because they feel they can get some other revenue sources in by the time that would come due. And so they will borrow some, but they highly doubt it'll be up to $700,000. But we had to put that in there to get up to the $1.2 million.
And that's
So
what I wanted to kind of
move forward
just
with the Penvest.
go back to on the 1.2. The documentation that I had was 1.1, so do you have something different? Do you know?
No,
Is it just
They
word of
may
mouth?
have found that money in the
Yeah.
meantime, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way, we thank, as Commissioner Metzger said, the township supervisors there for all the work they've done, and also Christine Weigel on the Lycoming County Water and Sewer Authority, who's been working diligently, as well as our staff, both planning and purchasing. And it was really a group effort of a lot of people involved, and we hope that we can help the people in Lairdsville get through this. Because also, what we're hoping is in the long-term picture, if those houses now have sewer systems that work, maybe people will move in and buy them. And maybe they'll come from, it's not that far from Scranton, Wilkes-Barre. And hopefully, we'll get some economic activity
Well,
there.
it'll increase the value of the property immediately.
Right, make it
Yeah,
go from a not saleable to a saleable.
absolutely. Okay, so you want to make a motion on action item 8.3 and 4?
If you
Eight,
want.
point
yeah.
2 and 3.
I'm sorry, 2 and 3?
Yes, please.
I move to approve both of them.
Okay, I'll second. All fair say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so carried on those two action items.
Great, and then the next item I have for you is to vote on agreement with Ty-Dalton Valley Municipal Authority for Act 13 funds in the amount of $44,849.25. Did you want me to go into that a little too as well? Okay, so they had a wastewater treatment plant and collection system that uses a SCADA system, which is basically just a hub that does all the operating, it's like the guts of the system. Unfortunately, they found out that is in need of repairs, and it's become an emergency situation. So in order to get those parts and get it up and running operationally again, they need to move out with this purchase and this funding.
Okay, and these funds will come from Act 13.
That is correct.
Okay, and it's an amount of $44,849.25.
Correct.
Okay. Commissioner, any comments on this?
No, I sort of a similar situation. When it's important for taxpayers to understand that when the commissioners do this, just like we did with the bridge bundling, we're saving local municipalities from having to raise property taxes to deal with these problems, or authorities having to raise rates on monthly payments.
There's no way they could afford these projects.
Exactly.
It'd be impossible.
Yeah.
And really, that's the beauty of these funds too. That's why we have them, and that's why we, look at them so critically, the projects that come before the commissioners, and, we allocate it towards things of this nature that come up as emergency.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second. All fair say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So carried.
The next agreement is to vote on Amendment 3 to agreement with DSI ITI. As my understanding, there was a meeting last week. Unfortunately, I apologize, I was not able to make it, but Brad had a discussion. And basically, there's some new Federal Communications Commissions mandates that are coming up here on the 26th, is that right, of October. As a result of that, it has required us to amend our agreement to reflect those mandates, as well as there were some increases for the transactions that were required as well. And again, those are all mandates, things that we are out of control to handle, but required to oblige by.
Thank you. Your motion?
Yeah, I'll move to approve.
I'll second. Warden, you have any additional comments you'd like to make?
This is just an extension of the contract for 5 more years. DSI ITI is the phone and messaging provider for the county prison. And so included along with this is also some technology upgrades and some safety and security upgrades that are included. And it is a contract that does not cost the taxpayers.
Okay, great, thank you.
No, Warden, we actually, I don't think they can hear you back there, but we actually get revenue from this contract, right?
Yes, that is correct.
And we get services that otherwise we might have to pay for.
Correct also.
Okay. All right, I'll move to approve Amendment 3.
I'll second. All fair side?
Aye.
Aye, so carried. Thank you.
The next item is to award the remaining information to bid for food products to Kiko distributors and freezers. If you recall, we had to go out to bid twice because of the nature of the situation we discussed earlier on pricing and food availability. So this is the remaining portion for the second round of bids that we did.
Okay. Motion?
I'll move to approve.
All fair side? I'll second. All fair side?
Aye.
Aye, so carried.
The next item is to approve sub-recipient agreement with Union County for the 4-county broadband project. Last week, we had Scott Kramer here from CEDACOG explain that project for the broadband grant and the ARC grant. So this is just to finalize the agreement with Union County to serve as the lead agency for this project and coordinate necessarily with them to meet the requirements of the bid, and as well as the grant.
Thank you. We have entered this contract, agreement, I should say, with the four county broadband project. We have seen through, we stated last week, we've seen through COVID how important, we knew how important broadband was before, but we really, as a state, recognized it even more so through COVID and the necessity of it. And as I stated last week, we want to grow our population countywide because that helps grow the tax base. We have individuals that want to move back home. We've talked to employers who are interviewing people that want to come back to their roots. They want to come back to their family. They've seen how important family is. They knew it was important before, but they saw it even more so through COVID. And they want to move back home. So we want to attract those professionals coming back home. We want to attract professionals from the cities, people that want to bring their families here that have professional jobs, or because of the crime, because of the high taxes in those communities. So as those people leave the cities, those professionals leave the cities, they're looking for places to relocate, to raise their children. And if we can offer the broadband, which we talked about as part of the ARPA monies, it's very important that we bring broadband across the entire county because of the schooling. They need to have it. People that are working from home need to have the broadband. So it's an extremely important topic that we, as we go forward, we continue to help fund, and we look at as part of the ARPA monies, maybe utilizes some of those funds for the broadband projects. I had Mill Creek Township reach out to me, the supervisor, this past week. She says some of the internet connections through Mill Creek Township are terrible, and she encouraged us to continue to pursue the broadband. I explained to her that it is a very important project, and we want to assist the people living there, but at the same time we want to try to bring professionals into the community that can fill some of these jobs that are open, and then maybe bring their companies with them. And broadband will definitely help.
And I would like to note, the county is eligible to receive $567,575 from this grant. So the majority of each 4 counties, they all got about the same amount.
So, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the 4 counties are Clinton, Union, Lycoming, and Northumberland,
Correct.
right?
Yep.
And so we also, this is a good example of where we team up on a regional basis. First of all, we thank the Appalachian Regional Commission for stepping up and even providing the grant opportunity to us. But when the 4 of us came together to do this, it showed them that there was some effort at a regional solution. And also, we were able to get RCAP funds. We've got $1 million from the state, I think just in this county alone, in RCAP funds. So that's good news.
And we saw just to point out, we saw this after 9/11. We saw a lot of the people move out of New York City. They went to the Poconos and rode the train to work. So as we see more and more people wanting, those professionals want to move out of the cities, want to raise their children in rural areas, hopefully we can track some of those through broadband. Motion?
I'll move to approve.
I'll second. All in favor, say aye.
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 All right, thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jason Yorks is on the line. This is 8.8 for agreement with Accent Wire Tie.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning, Jason.
Before you for approval is an amendment with Accent Wire Tie. Commissioners, as we explained to you last week when we got to meet with you, it has been a huge challenge to be able to purchase baler wire for the recycling department, given the extreme range of pricing in steel and how it's kept fluctuating. Actually, really not a fluctuation. It's more like a straight arrow up. It's pretty much doubled in price. And in order for us as a county entity to be able to purchase, as Maya was able to explain today, there are guidelines and rules that we must adhere to. So today we have before you a project that was worked with Maya and Steve Sims in our business department. We are fixing this amendment to the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, which is a fixed index. That is something that we can actually track, and both parties agree upon. That way, when we need to buy baler wire, we have some kind of a, some kind of a mercantile exchange that shows what the price is, how it goes up. It's not just a steel company trying to make additional profits off of us. It's been a huge challenge. Most steel providers don't even want to go into a contract, such as, you've also seen in your food supply chain and so forth. So this is something that Maya and Steve worked together on. I think it's a great idea. It is unfortunate the baler wire has doubled in price in less than a year, but we still need to provide it for our recycling department, which, as you know, the revenues from the recycling department have been doing excellent last 3 months due to the product pricing.
Okay, any questions?
No, this is a good solution to be able to keep things moving. Thank you.
Motion.
I'll move to approve the amendment with Accent Wire Tie.
I'll second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So carried.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you, Jason.
8.9, Director McDermott, but I think, are we moving this?
Yeah, I'm gonna make a motion to table this at this time.
Yeah, I was just gonna recommend that we table it so that the courts can do some additional staffing and coordination on this section.
Okay.
I'll move to, you made a motion to table, I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So tabled.
8.10 was Shannon Rossman, voting on the CAP coordination and CAP implementation grants.
Okay, this is actually, there was a lot of confusion about this because we haven't been given a lot of information. It keeps changing every day. So we actually have 2 separate items we need to vote on.
Yep.
There are 2 separate grants. One is the CAP coordination planning grant. We were informed that we were going to be able to go back for more planning funds to support the employee salaries that are working on these projects and coordinating the items. This past year, we had a grant. We partnered with Northumberland County to receive $100,000, $50,000 for Lycoming County and $50,000 for Northumberland County. We acted as the pass-through county for the funding. That will be the same exact grant that we're going to apply to this year. We thought we were going to be able to apply individually each getting $50,000, and we were just told on Friday that we can't do that. So we'll be doing the same type of grant we did last year for this year, and it'll be for 2022. We'll be applying for $100,000 again with pass-through funding of $50,000 to Northumberland. The second, and that's due Friday. So the second grant that we're going to be applying for now is we finished our county action plan. We're actually calling it the Lycoming County Clean Streams Action Plan. Now, for implementation, what we've come up with was 8 projects that are ready to go. They can be completed in a very short 12 to 18 month time frame, and those are various projects throughout the county that some are going to be coordinated by the Conservation District, some are going to be coordinated by Trout Unlimited. There's a couple in there that are MS4 related community projects that will all provide clean water pollution control measures. And that is in the amount of $1,429,217. That is going to be pass-through funding to those entities that are actually coordinating those projects. We're not going to be doing any of the coordination for the projects, we're just going to be coordinating the grant funds. So, and then we'll also be working with other projects in the future to apply for additional implementation funds. I think that's it.
So, Shannon, give an example of, okay, well, you have.
They're both due Friday. There's 2 of them. One is the Complementation Grant for $100,000, which we're partnering with Northumberland again.
Right.
Pass through $50,000 Northumberland.
Right.
The second is the implementation funds.
Right. The point I wanted to make is that on the implementation on the block grant submission, so for example, Spring Garden Hunting Club Stream and Habitat Restoration is going to be done by Trout Unlimited,
Yes.
right?
I can run through the list if you want me to.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Okay. And we had very little guidance on these projects. So what we did was we listed them. They're all in our CAP plan for the county. So the first project is the Spring Garden Hunting Club Stream and Habitat Restoration. Project lead is Trout Unlimited. They'll be working on Blockhouse Creek. We have Project 2 is a cover crop incentive project. That's going to be the Lycoming County Conservation District. That's to do agricultural BMPs. Project 3 is to purchase a second no-till drill that is larger than one we currently have, which will provide additional no-till options for rental for farmers in the county. And when you have no-till, it reduces runoff and reduces sediment and loss of nutrients off the soil. So this will further that program that the Conservation District already runs. Then we have Project 4, which is the Pine Run Stream Restoration Project. The project lead is the Conservation District. The location is Woodward Township, and it's a stream restoration project also. We have Project 5, which is Reach Road Stormwater Infiltration Project, which is the Williamsport Municipal Water Authority. They spearhead the MS4 projects for the city, and it's going to increase stormwater infiltration, and it's in their MS4 program. Project 6 is Bennett Run Stream Restoration, which is Fairfield Township. It's a stream restoration project in Fairfield Township. We have Bottle Run Stream Restoration in Old Lycoming Township. This is also exactly a stream restoration. Project 8 is Janet Hawk Road Drainage Improvement Project. This is with the Conservation District. It's part of a dirt and gravel road project to improve drainage to reduce runoff, and that's in Penn Township.
I think that last one didn't make it onto our.
That was a late addition.
Okay, that's all right, we'll get it, we'll get the updated one after the meeting, the point is you told us about it. And
Yeah.
That's okay, that's no problem.
Shannon, what's the timeline for the completion of these projects?
These projects, I believe, are all ready to go, and we generally have a 12 to 18 month, because we were told they had to be projects that were basically shovel ready. So these projects we've all heard about, talked about, and are some of the kind of the low-hanging fruit projects from our CAP plan, because they're already ready to go.
And the townships are aware that this is all ready to go?
The townships are ones that gave us the information for the CAP plan, yes.
You know, there was an editorial this morning in the paper and about this, and they were pointing out that although it's not county tax dollars, it's still federal and state. And I think hopefully maybe these projects will help the person writing the editorial understand that these are projects that are going to enhance the quality of life in our county, both from the perspective of building resiliency against flooding, but also in terms of making sure that the clean streams that people come here for trout fishing or for other things remain that way so that we can continue. I don't think that the paper was taking a shot at this. I think they were just trying to point out, and it is true, I mean, at the end of the day, it is tax dollars, but at the end of the day, it's also money coming into our county from the federal and state government.
Well, and the benefit for this is because we did the CAP plan, we can apply for these implementation funds.
Right.
That was kind of the whole reasoning behind doing the CAP plan. One, the state was going to give us funding to put the plan together, and as you know, Eve Adrian, our previous natural resource planner, she put the plan together along with the Conservation District staff. And they put a really good plan together. It was well received by DEP. So we're very happy with it. And now we're going to be implementing the projects as we go through that plan. It is a plan that's going to get revised on a regular basis, because as we do projects or as we see projects with a lot of improvements or a lot of reductions, we'd be able to prioritize them.
Yeah.
We
No.
have no understanding of how the implementation program is going to work or how the grants are going to be ranked or anything. We were given less than 2 weeks to come up with an idea, and they changed a lot of things on Friday.
Yeah.
So,
And it's so important that we get our streams, the bank stabilization, the debris out of it, to prevent the future flooding. We had the Army Corps up here a few weeks ago. The colonel stood on the side of
Lycoming Creek.
Lycoming Creek right up there, and she said about the debris down there, we could widen the channel. You know, we could prevent so much further
Well,
flooding.
Right, and in that instance with the Lycoming Creek, the channel is there from when it was built. The problem is, over the course of the years, debris has settled, and we need to take the channel back to what it was,
Exactly.
because it's reduced the amount of flow through the channel. We've also had this discussion yesterday with PennDOT, and they were very interested at our technical coordinating committee for Watts. They were interested in being part of that conversation. Also, when we've talked about the county's idea of trying to do a debris removal program. So I think there's a lot of people out there who are very interested in trying to address this issue. And this is part of it. Stream stabilization and reduction of runoff can do a lot of things to help prevent some of those issues.
Absolutely.
And we have a nice cross-section here of communities that are impacted by these,
Yeah.
by these projects, so.
Tim Heiler's here from the Conservation
Yeah.
District too.
I'd like to make some
Yeah, come on
comments
up,
if I
Tim.
could.
Morning, Tim.
Morning. So I'd like to back up a little bit and how did we get here? This is not a plan that the Planning Department and the Conservation District hatched up on our own goodwill or that kind of thing. This goes way back to 2009, executive order by President Obama to clean up the Chesapeake Bay. His order to the EPA said, you'll come up with a plan and take care of this. And that's based on lawsuits and things from different organizations that are saying, hey, Chesapeake Bay has a lot of problems and we need it. It's the president's responsibility ultimately to have these things taken care of. And so that's when things started rolling. I mean, you can go even farther back to the Clean Water Act, 1972, I believe. But this 2009 executive order said, EPA, you clean up the Chesapeake Bay. So then EPA turned to DEP and said, okay, DEP in Pennsylvania, it's your job to clean up the Pennsylvania part of the bay. And so we've been working with that for a period of years, and we're getting to the deadline of 2025, and Pennsylvania has a long ways to go, despite a lot of effort and a lot of funding. And so, and I don't know all the details because I'm not in Harrisburg, but there's been several versions of the watershed implementation plan. This is version 3, where the state said, okay, here's what we're going to do. They're telling EPA, here's what we're going to do. We're gonna get the local people involved at the county level. And so it's ultimately DEP's responsibility to take care of the issue. But they basically offered it up to all the counties. What can you do? What would you be willing to do in your counties to take care of this? We could have said, too bad, we're not going to do anything. But then we'd have no voice in what happens. So we took it up, the planning department, the conservation district, and I think Eve said 150 stakeholders all came together to put this plan together under the guidance of DEP to show the EPA that we're committed to doing what they had asked us to do. And part of that is the $36 million price tag that was thrown out there. It was DEP saying, okay, we want you to meet these goals. What does it take to meet these goals? What are your staffing needs? What are your building needs, your vehicles, your equipment, all these things? What are the projects going to cost? So that the state can then turn to the EPA and say, okay, well, we can clean up, but we need this much money to do that for all these different things. So we put together this wish list, if you want to call it, of projects and things that we thought we could do, but we need additional staff, we need additional office space, all these things that they're in the plan. They're written, you guys have seen, it's all there. That's the $36 million figure. That's not what the county's going to spend or that is, here's what it would take, hoping that someone higher up with a huge purse can open up the purse strings a little bit and put some of that out for us. And this is what we were instructed to do by the state, because if we don't ask for what we need, how can they know what we need? So that's more of the background that I'm not sure was really clear in reading the paper, the two articles that were in the paper, that it almost sounded like it was the county's doing, but this is not that we're mandated to do it, but we're stepping up to the plate so that we're not mandated later. And we'll say, well, we didn't comment on this. Well, you chose not to.
We're taking a proactive approach.
Yes. So that's what this whole plan is. That's kind of the background of where it came from, way back in 2009. So.
Right.
So, and just so that people don't think that the president did it as a consent decree, there was a consent decree entered by a federal district court because parties sued saying, hey, you're polluting our water. And so
Yes.
they sued various states and entities. And so as part of the settlement of that case, there was a consent decree entered into by Pennsylvania, which basically said that we will do this. And so the president, on behalf, in terms of effectuating the consent decree.
Yeah.
I just don't want people to think he came up with some
No.
Right,
wild
and
scheme.
as Tim pointed out, the benefit for us doing the Clean Water Action Plan for the county and the benefit for us applying then for the implementation grants is that this is coming out of non-county dollars.
Right.
Because we're eligible, since we participated, to access those funds.
And,
We didn't
the
participate.
reality is that when, and I didn't really understand this until it sort of got explained to me. I don't know whether it was farmers or who, but when we clean up our water that ultimately ends down in the Chesapeake Bay, we clean up our own water here too, right? We ensure that we have clean water. So it isn't, I think we often think, oh, we're doing this for them in the Chesapeake Bay. Well, we're doing it for
us
ourselves.
first.
We're doing it for ourselves to make sure that, people come here from all over for trout fishing, right? Well, if the trout die, they're not going to come.
The best trout
It's-
fishing around.
Right.
It's kayaking, it's going out and the scenery, it's our farmers getting help to do best agricultural practices so that they can keep the nutrients in their soil and not run off. It's a whole realm of things. This is to benefit our local residents. The side benefit is the Chesapeake Bay water quality gets better. But this is to benefit our local water quality first and foremost.
I don't know if it was the case here, because I didn't live here in the 1970s, but I suspect at one point the river was not exactly the cleanest river around. Did it ever get, now I take for granted that we have a river that you can now go in. You get on your boat and you fall in the water and it's okay, right? But there was a period of time in our country, especially in the late 60s or 70s where the Long Island Sound got so bad that you couldn't swim. There were days that they literally had to close the beach. And I suspect that the same was true here with our rivers in Pennsylvania.
Well, let's put it this way. If I kayak in the Susquehanna,
Yeah,
if I fall out, I don't worry about ingesting a little bit of water.
right,
The water is in pretty decent shape now.
right.
However, if I were kayaking near Pittsburgh,
Right.
I would try to hold my breath.
Right. And the
And we'll
skin
leave
might
it at that.
absorb some of the chemicals.
And we'll leave it at that.
Right, okay.
Okay. Any other further comments or discussion?
Thank you, Tim.
Jan, anything else?
Thank you, Shannon.
I just need you to make sure that you make a motion on both grant applications.
Okay, so we'll do those both together.
Right. I'll move to approve the CAP coordination and the CAP implementation grant.
And I'll second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So carried.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner comments?
Next week is election day, next Tuesday. We just encourage everyone to exercise their right to go vote. And please get out to the polls, or make sure you mail in your ballot. But please exercise your right to vote. And we have some very important elections up, so, as we do every year.
And if you mail, you may not want to mail it at this point.
No, not this point, it's not good to mail.
No, you might want to bring it down to the
Yeah.
county office,
Yeah,
because the mail is having difficulties with its own.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And we want to wish
Oh.
Director McDermott a happy birthday. Today's his
Right.
birthday.
Happy birthday,
Happy
35 today.
Happy birthday to our director.
You know, it used to be that 55 was the new 35, but I heard during COVID, 55 is the new 55.
Who else did you wish happy birthday to? Someone else?
Just,
Oh, just him. I thought you said someone else.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
And we hope to have our colleague back soon. And wish him speedy recovery. Commissioner?
I have nothing.
Okay. Public comment this time from the audience. Morning, sir.
How are you?
Good.
We haven't seen you in a while.
No.
Just please state your name for the record. And thank you for being here.
Yep. Albert Boyer, 12286 Route 14, Ralston. My purpose of being today is kind of a yearly report from north of the city on Lycoming Creek. Ralston not being an economic zone, more a recreational zone, and since I've lived there since 1958, I hear a lot of comments that's very interesting. My main concern today is what was once known as the Midway Water Project, which was a group effort of Mercantile Township on the south end, McNett on the right side, McNett Township of Lycoming County, and Union Township of Tioga County. And it was a project led by the Lycoming Watershed Association, which was headed up by Mike Ditchfield. And I understand because of lack of cooperation, information, whatever, we're at a big impasse now because they haven't been meeting and nothing's happened on the project. At one time, Gene Yaw recognized the need for the Midway project, working from the top end down into Lycoming County and the impact it would have on old Lycoming Township. And he was behind this, as he was on the early works of the Broadband, which I heard discussed today. But unfortunately, we're now at a point where nothing's happened, nothing seems to happen, and it's the history of it. I would hope that the newspaper would, or somebody would look into it and see what could be possibly done up there, because the sedimentation, the heavy metals, there's so much that goes into this, and when you flush a toilet, you can start in Old Lycoming Township, or you can start up in the upper end. And the upper end's been worked on Pine Creek, the upper end's been worked on in the Loyalsock, Lycoming Creek, and the area north of Trout Run is a very interesting area during these economic times. That pretty much would cover my 3 minutes that I'm here. I'd like to thank the commissioners. I've seen they've done cooperatively, they've done a lot of good things working together. And I don't think the public always recognizes the effort and what all goes into it, and all the different departments and the people in the county and the good that they do. And I think that's a little unfortunate. I can also say to you that I serve on the board of the Save the Tioga River in Tioga County, and you're going to hear some very interesting things in the next couple of weeks as to the restoration of that entire stream and what it's going to mean to the Delaware Bay. So I won't elaborate on that at this point, but I think everyone's going to be surprised at what's going to be happening up on that area up there. That water flows in Tioga County towards Corning and then down the east branch of the Susquehanna. And it's a very impressive thing that's going to take place. With that, I think that's probably all I had for you.
Mr. Boyer, before you go, first of all, we thank you. You've been a township supervisor for 35 years, is that correct?
That's correct.
Yeah, and we thank you.
Thank you.
For your service, and you were involved with the fire company for years up there, and we've had the privilege, both Commissioner Metzger and I went to the parade in Ralston, and we enjoyed that very much. And what I'm going to do is ask Ms. Shannon Rossman to speak with you about this. Commissioner Messer, this is very near and dear to his heart. He participated in those meetings, and we ought to see if we can't do something with our natural resource planning and so forth to figure
I'll
out.
look into it because I know nothing about it.
Right, that's right. And Shannon, Ms. Rossman is new. Oh, she's been here about a year and a half. 2 years now.
Over 2 years now.
Okay, over 2 years. Okay.
Time
So you're no
flies.
longer new, but we will connect you and see if we can't jumpstart this. And maybe she can reach out to Mike Ditchfield, find out what the stumbling block is, because you're absolutely right. The other streams were done. It's time to do this one. And I know if Commissioner Massaro was here, he would wholeheartedly agree with us.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you for coming down all the way from
Absolutely, thank
Ralston. We appreciate it.
Yeah. Any other public comment? We have anything online?
None online.
Okay. Hearing nothing further, we have completed our agenda, so we'll be adjourned we will have a commissioners meeting next week due to the election. And we'll meet back here on Tuesday, November 9th at 10 a.m. Thank you. Yep.
Permits were denied repeatedly, whatever. The ask was too big, I think. If they were gonna reroute the stream and do it, it was pretty serious.
November 17th.
There's a lot of money to be saved by doing that project because there's a lot of houses going to be damaged.
Well, something needs to be done. I mean, it's gonna take the road, it's gonna take all kinds of things, but they just couldn't get through DEP.